Lemont Unlocked at the Forge Lemont Quarries. Dave Fako is standing here with us. We're going to be talking with him in a moment. My name is Chris. This is Tess. You know us. We're on this show all the time. You can see every episode that we do on YouTube, on any podcast player. We're on Spotify now. We're on Apple Podcasts. If you're listening on a podcast player right now and you're like, what do you mean, see it? There's an option on your podcast player to open up the video and actually watch what we're doing. You can see any of the episodes. Everything stays up there forever. It's on demand. The most important thing, though, is subscribe to the show because you're going to miss it. You're going to miss episodes when they come out. If you don't subscribe, you're going to get reminders on your phone if you do subscribe. So do that. And Tess, this is beautiful out here.
Isn't it gorgeous? I just love coming out here, and it's a perfect day, too.
It is a gorgeous day, and we're going to get into this. So, Dave Fako, I first met you about a year ago because you teach barbecue classes. I'm going to give you that plug right away because you made me some good food. But I didn't know this about you, is that you also run these trails. There's events out here. That's what we're going to get into today. Why did you pick this spot?
Where we're at right now is on an overlook, looking over the various quarries here, and on the other side of these quarries is the Forge, and it's just got a great view of everything, and you got all the trails here that we can run, hike, bike on, ski on. You can do a wide range of things. So it's just a great asset for both the community and nearby for all this outdoor activity.
One of the things that I've already noticed is the amount of people walking around and using this area, and we're recording in the middle of a day on a Thursday. Like, some of these people must not have jobs. Like, I don't know how they're doing this. But I mean, like, it's the middle of the day on a Thursday, and there's heavy activity that's up here. What do you think people use this the most for? Is it the fishing that I'm seeing over here?
Well, I think you see a lot of things. Fishing is definitely very common here. You see newer fishermen coming back here, and there's people that have probably been coming here since the 1950s to fish. But yeah, I think the most you see here is a lot of people riding and walking, riding their bikes and walking on the trails.
So we're standing on a route for one of your runs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
you were kind of explaining this to me, that like, and we're at the top of like this overlook, and he looked at it, he looked at the two of us, he's like, well, I make the runners climb this hill. And we're like, we're not climbing
Yeah,
the
we
hill.
said no, thanks.
we're taking the easy way around. But they will come running by here. Is it all of your races, one of your races? Take me through the races that actually happen, because you have a bunch of them and one coming up soon.
Sure. In August, we have our gravel triathlon. It's actually part of the USAT National Gravel Triathlon Series. And that race the swim is in the quarries near the Forge. The bike is actually on the trails right nearby here, and the run is also on the other side of the canal near the Forge. In September, November, we actually have our trail run festival, and that's where we do a 10, 20, 30, and new this year, a 60K trail run race.
For the psychos, obviously.
Yeah.
For the cycles. Somebody wants to do 6 laps here, about 37 miles. It's a perfect place to do it.
Chris and I won't even walk up this one hill.
No, we actually, we are literally on the course for that race right here.
There's somebody training for a 60K right now, and he or she, they're nuts.
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
It would be a little bit insane for some people. We want to get 100K back here, but that's a little bit in the future.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, going back to this triathlon. So people actually swim in the quarries over here.
Correct. In the quarry, right near the Forge, where all the main stuff is the Forge, under the zip line towers, we do the swim portion of that race in that quarry.
How cold is it?
It's actually, because it's in the summer, it's warm. And it's so warm sometimes that we can't let people wear their swim wetsuits because there's some rules on that.
Wow, okay.
Interesting. Okay, so I think you mentioned it already. There's 6 miles of trail that's running around here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that you have that. This has been around for a while. You've also mentioned the fact that people have been coming here since the 50s. How much has it changed in that time? Is it pretty much the same? Has it changed a lot?
Well, it's definitely changed a lot. I've lived in town for about 25 years, and when I first moved here, I used to come down here and run and walk and hike, etc. And a lot of this was heavily overgrown, not maintained a lot. More recently, the trails have been cleared. You see some of it in the background you see here, and there simply has more use now. The trails are more open, the trails are more cleaned up, and they're more regularly maintained. They've always been good. It's always been an asset for the community, but more recently, these trails just have become more usable.
I'm seeing planting over here, too. You have some new stuff stuff that's off to the side here. So that there's a maintenance happening, but there's also new stuff being planted.
Correct. The Forge, I believe, has some grants, and they're getting rid of some invasive species. And in the background, you might be able to see it. There's some new planting going on. I don't know the micro details of exactly what they're planting, but they're definitely planting new things that are supposed to be here, the native plants.
We love to see it. That's awesome.
So what's your favorite race? Like, which one is Dave Fako running in? Are you running in them all, or is there one that you're like, every year I'm making it to this one?
Anything that's a trail run is for me. So we do a trail half marathon and quarter marathon in March. That's actually the shirt I'm wearing for that race. That would be an awesome race, but anything on our trail run festival in November would be also a great race. And particularly like the 20 or 30K distance would be something I would like to run.
Dave, you seem like a busy man between your barbecue business and training. What made you want to partner up with the Forge for all these races?
Well, when the Forge first opened up, they came to me because I was one of the founders of the Quarryman Challenge, a race in town here, and they knew I was involved in races, and they asked me if I wanted to help put races together here. And we now operate those races independently through F3 events, but we just had a great venue here for races. That's why we wanted to do it. We had the trails, we had the water, we had hills, trees, dirt, mud, critters, even Sasquatch.
Yes.
So we had all kinds of stuff like that back here, and we thought it would create some really good, adventurous, fun, and challenging races.
Is there a favorite part to you, or are there spots if somebody came out here, let's say they haven't done the trails yet, or they haven't explored this area, are there things they should look for? Is there like a beautiful view someplace that you're like, don't miss it? Is that why you have us here?
Yeah.
Did you take us to where did you take all the girls here, Dave?
You got to talk to the high school kids about that. I won't talk about it. You wouldn't imagine what you find in the trails here.
We are in a very beautiful spot right now.
Used stuff.
Are there highlights to this?
We're actually at one of the highlights, this overlook, which the Forge has set up a picnic table and stuff here. You can see everything, obviously, in the background. My personal favorite area is the far northeast end of the trails. There's some really cool stuff back there, a little bit less developed, and it's a little bit more challenging, too, especially for runners.
If somebody wants to participate in one of your running events, if somebody wants to learn more, is there a place they go, or do they just hunt you down in the streets of Lemont?
Some people hunt me down in the streets, but I would say you just look up Forge races, and we're on social media, and we have some websites for the various individual races.
All right, Dave Fako. You also plug the barbecue business, because you gave us your time.
Yeah, I need to know more about
plug
this.
the business. He teaches barbecue classes, and I have a smoker, and I thought I was pretty good. And then I met Dave, and I'm like, I suck.
Yeah.
I have to learn more from this guy. Plug that.
Well, I run Big Ed's Q Shed Barbecue here in Lemont. We primarily cater and teach barbecue classes. I've catered quite a few things back here at the Forge, including a 400-person taco party.
Whoa.
I made 1,600 tacos in like a couple hours. It was a very busy day.
This is why he runs, because otherwise
without it, I would probably have some issues, some health issues. But we just run this barbecue business. We like to have a lot of fun with it. We like to do craft-oriented barbecue, some unique things. You really liked it. You actually said my brisket would have won a barbecue competition had I been in that competition.
Okay, it's lunchtime right now. Where is my
He makes you
plate of
hungry.
barbecue?
He makes you hungry. You know how many times I asked him, like, do you want to bring some barbecue up while we do the interview? But he didn't.
Come on, Dave.
I gave you some to go home that day.
He did. He is a very gracious person. Dave Fako, again, enjoy these trails. This is a great thing for not only Lemonters, but those that want to visit Lemont. We're always showing off like the restaurants and the different events that are happening here in Lemont on Lemont Unlocked. But this is a beautiful section of land that not everybody has nearby where they live. So definitely get out here, check it out, and look up the Forge races, and you'll see Dave. You'll see him running along, working off that barbecue.
I'm going for a run right after this interview.
Thank you, Dave.
Go with me.
No, I don't.
No.
Lemont Unlocked now sitting on a brand new VIP deck. It's a little windy up here.
Yeah.
Tess is like,
you can tell?
yeah, she's like, why did I wear my hair down?
Yeah. It was a bad choice. Sorry, everyone.
You know what I'm learning with you? I'm learning that I have to prep you just a little bit more. Like, what am I wearing? What should my hair be?
Yes.
Is the lighting going to be right? Yeah.
We had this conversation.
Yeah.
A previous fashion major. I need to know what the outfit is going to be. I need it.
Like we both got dressed today to be outdoorsy, right?
Yes.
Like I was like, oh, wear the flannel, it's heavy, and then
I
you
said
had,
LL Bean catalog model, and I am serving.
yeah, and now she just got her coat on because she's
Yes,
chilly.
yeah.
I want to introduce our guest now. We're here at the Forge Adventure Park, which is right next to where we were just standing when we were checking out the trails. And Jeremie Bacon is with us. How are you, Jeremie?
I'm super great. Thanks for asking.
Oh, and you're a big fan of Jeremie, right?
I am fangirling right now, everyone. So I saw Jeremie perform a few years ago as a Foo Fighters cover band. Is that right? The performance of a lifetime. So
Wow.
tell us a little
I'm
bit
not
about
sure
this.
it's the performance of a lifetime or not, but thank you for saying that. Yeah.
No, you
We
did
certainly had a good time.
fantastic. Yeah, you were really good. But I mean, you have so many concerts here.
We do.
And what's the lineup looking like this year?
So for this summer, we have, I think it's 32 festivals and concert events. Basically every Friday and Saturday, starting May 30th through September, we have a concert. And then every other Sunday, there's a family-oriented concert or special show. That might be a Disney show. It might be a stunt show. It might be a bring giant animals into the park and let them run around and chase you show.
So fun.
All that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's going to be a really busy summer.
And one of the things that you mentioned before we sat down here, Monday nights now, you speaking of family and family concerts, Monday nights are like very family orientated here. What do you have now? You have mini golf, you got movies. Tell us about that.
That's right. So Monday nights are sort of family night here at the Forge. So we've got a brand new miniature golf course that we just put in. We actually opened it last weekend for the very first time ever, which is pretty sweet. Full 18 holes. It's beautiful. It's lots of fun. And to go sort of pair along with that, we have our big screen up here behind us at the mount here where we do our concerts. And so we show movies, free movies, and we have food and beverage on site here with our partners, the Creamery. So we do pizzas, we do burgers, we do brats, we do hot dogs, we do ice cream, we do cake. It's a full fun experience. And so Monday night at the park, every Monday starting here in the beginning of June, all through the summer.
Yeah, before we go any further, I do want to explain where we're at, okay? And trust me, I am nervous because there's a lot of wind, and I know we got the microphones here, and hopefully you're hearing us really well here, but I wanted to see this view. You were really excited about this, and as we were walking out here to where the stage is behind us, you can see some of the adventure things over our shoulder as well, places for kids, places for adults. I know the zip line is way back there somewhere. You can see the water behind us. It's a beautiful spot, but now you have these decks that are above what look like almost like open up garages. They're VIP areas for the concerts and for the shows. Are the concerts your main bread and butter, or is it the adventure stuff that people can come out here and experience the outdoors? Like what do you think people gravitate to the most?
Well, that's a super great question, and actually goes to the heart of our business and the business model and why we do what we do. So the Forge is actually built on 4 pillars. We call them our 4 pillars. There's exhilarate. That's all the fun activities, right? So zipping and climbing and running around doing kid stuff and shooting bows and arrows and getting in a canoe or a kayak and paddling and maybe getting fishing, maybe doing a bike ride, maybe taking a run, whatever. All those fun activities. That's our exhilarate pillar. Our second pillar is entertainment, and that obviously then that rolls into concerts, festivals, food and beverage, and all the fun stuff that you can do here as a family and as a group and with your friends. And then the third pillar for us is education. So some of you may or may not know, but we have one of the largest summer camp programs in the region here at the park. We run summer camp all summer long for kids as young as 3 all the way to kids who are 14, and we have different groups and different types of camps with different specialties for all these children. Even we also have a camp every summer for children with special needs that come out and get to do all these amazing experiences outside and really learn more about nature and learn about testing their own physical boundaries and limitations in the woods. So that sort of summer camp programming, as well as a bunch of scout work that we do and work with other nonprofits, all comes under our educational pillar, if you will, where we focus on outdoor education and access to the outdoors for everybody. Then the fourth pillar for us is environment and ecology. So a big part of what we do here on the for-profit side of our business is slow but steady ecological restoration for the land that we own. And then we even have a sister nonprofit organization we can talk about at some point too, where that does nothing but ecological restoration and outdoor access to education here in Illinois and in a few new states now as well.
We just heard a little bit about that, right?
Yeah, Dave was able to walk us through that a little bit. Are you able to expand on what's going on here at the Heritage Recreational Center? Is that what it's called?
Heritage Quarries Recreation Area.
There we go.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, I can. So when we started the Forge and started building the for-profit piece of what we did, my partners and I also started a nonprofit called the Wilder World Trust. And what we do through the Wilder World Trust is ecological restoration, stewardship, and then educational services, outdoor rec, outdoor education, and then access to the outdoors for people. And so since we started that foundation, we've invested just over $3 million into restoration activities, both here in the Heritage Quarries Recreation Area, as well as a few other project sites throughout the region that we've been part of now for the past 5.5 years now with the charity. The way that it works is part of it works, I should say, is that our for-profit business here, the Forge, through concerts, summer camps, exhilarating activities, all that kind of stuff, for every dollar that we earn from the park in profits, my partner and I put that dollar back into the nonprofit so that we can then turn around and do public service and public good with that money. And then as we open up new parks and new spaces and or do other operations in other areas, for example, now we run a few facilities for Will County and Cook County as well. And so we do the same thing. When we make a profit, we take that profit and we put it back into the community that we're working in.
That's awesome. So that looks like what? Cleanup services?
I see new plantings.
Yeah.
I see getting invasive species out. There's a lot that's happened over there in the trails where it's cleaner and it's more usable because of what you're doing.
Yeah, that's right. So with the Wilder World Trust, what we did here is we got together with the village and the township a number of years ago, and we said, look, we would like to invest profits into restoring the area here, because post the shutdown of the quarries in the early 1900s, the area just sort of sat fallow, right, for over 100 years, and it was used for recreational purposes because the quarries all flooded naturally, right, and that's why we have the 6 lakes back here, and they're all beautiful, but they were never managed, right, so there was no management services went into maintaining fish, maintaining other aquatic species, taking care of the plants in the water, let alone outside the water. And so what happened over the course of that 100 years is that the whole region filled up, the 300 acres that represents the Heritage Quarries filled up with invasive species, primarily buckthorn, honeysuckle, and tree of heaven. And then there's a bunch of other herbaceous like plants like burdock and garlic mustard and tons of others that sort of grew here and have really established kind of a monoculture. And what that did is it forced all the wildlife out. So for people who have been coming to the quarries for years, you'll know there's a lot of birds here this time of year in the areas that are open. But when you get into the depths of the quarries and the recreation area here, there's very little wildlife because nothing can thrive at the ground. We have no bugs, therefore we have no little animals, therefore we have no birds, therefore we have no coyotes, therefore we have no big animals. We have a broken ecosystem. So long story short, we got together with the village and said, hey, we would like to hire a third-party consulting firm that does ecological restoration globally, bring them in, have them do literally an acre-by-acre analysis of the entire region, and put together with us a restoration plan. And so we wrote a 20-year restoration vision. We had a group called Stantec, which is like the largest consulting firm in the world that does restoration work and consulting services around ecological restoration, environmental services. They came out, went acre by acre, tree by tree, plant by plant, and they authored a restoration plan, including costing and budgets and all that kind of stuff. And then through the nonprofit, we started fundraising both through our efforts and then through third parties, like the state's given us some money. Citgo's been a big partner with us for the past couple of years. And we raised money and started doing these projects. So that was a long answer to your question, but what it's resulted in is we've been able to clear 15 new acres of prairie. We've been able to work through and start working on the fish balances and fish populations and aquatic plant populations in the quarries to rejuvenate them. And we've also been able to clear shoreline and reintroduce rare and endangered bird species into the quarries that weren't here for the last 100 years, but now they are. And so it's really exciting. We're like 4 years into a 20-year project.
Wow.
You know what? I thought we were just going to talk concerts. And like every time I'm here, it's a beer festival. Like I go to the Pollyanna thing every year, and I'm like, we're gonna sit up on the deck. And instead, what I learned is that you're a heck of a neighbor because you had this beautiful area out here, but there was real problems. You could have very easily built a park, and then said, okay, we're gonna make a lot of money, and then we're gonna build a couple other in some other places, and who cares whether or not there's enough birds over here? And what you're doing is actually really, really helpful for the area that's surrounding it, and it probably in the end will benefit you just because this place is going to continue to thrive.
Well, we hope so. I mean, we live here in Lemont as well, and we've raised our family here, and we're going to be here for the rest of our lives. And for us, it's important to invest in your community and be part of that good. The work that we're doing, sometimes, whether it's building an adventure park or doing conservation work with and for the village and the township, sometimes it can be hard to understand exactly what's going on when you're in process, because when you cut out invasive trees, it leaves an empty space that you then have to backfill with new trees and new plants and the right kind of animals and things, and it takes time, right? And so that can sometimes be confusing for people. So it's never an easy, super simple task and job, and sometimes it's a little bit thankless, but we're here for the long haul and we love it, and it's the right thing to do for the community and the environment, so why not? Why would we do anything else?
And it's looking great out there too.
It looks amazing. All right, real quick before we let you go, what's coming up real soon? I know you got a Brews and Blues Fest that's coming up Memorial Day weekend. I know you got a lot of music concerts. You can't list them all because there's so much going on here. But what do people have to look forward to in the coming month?
In the coming month, we'll be opening up every new feature and attraction at the park. So we put, like I mentioned before, this brand new miniature golf course, 18 holes of awesomeness, which is cool. We built a whole new kids discovery zone that's got outdoor recreation and exploration opportunities for kids from the age of 2.5 up to my age, up to 50. We also put in new experiences like these lounges for the concerts. We also put in a new nature education center, so that complements the educational work that we do for school groups and others. Lots of fun stuff for people to see. So I think by the time May 24th rolls around, which is Memorial Day weekend, when we have that first Blues, Brews, and the Blues and Brews and Barbecue Festival, there's the word, from that weekend on, every weekend through the rest of the year, we've got everything from Foo Fighters tribute bands.
Woo!
Woo, exactly.
I think I know who's going to be standing rail.
Exactly.
I'll be waiting for Jeremy.
I know. Well, we're going to get Dave's going to come in one of these days, and we're going to sing together. It'll
Yes.
be amazing. But until that day happens, we'll take the great tribute bands. But we've got, Ava's tribute bands coming back this year. We've got family concerts. I think we're bringing like the Little Mermen, which is a Disney family concert tribute band that's
Cool.
freaking amazing that's coming out. We've got Steely Dan bands and Eric Clapton. Just a million. Everything
Yeah.
you could want to listen to, you're going to hear this year.
I will say I am very competitive when it comes to mini golf specifically, so I'm going to have to play both of you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think I just found out another segment we're going to be doing in the future here.
I
on
never
Lemont
said I was
Unlocked.
good. I just said I was competitive. I want to make that very clear.
Jeremy, our first trip here officially as part of Lemont Unlocked, although the two of us have been here separately a couple of different times. I'm looking forward to getting back here again. Thanks so much for sharing with us what you're doing here at the Forge Adventure Park.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me out. I appreciate it.